What's up everyone, welcome back to a brand new video, where today we're going to be talking about the one that started it all, the game that shaped the series and the genre as we see it now. Because apparently it's a genre now, as well as a series of games. But Demons Souls. Demons Souls is the original challenge. It is unforgiving, it is completely going to piss you off at some points and just troll you because you'll die in dumbass ways. And by all means, it shaped the future of Dark Souls and subsequent games of the genre. So today we're going to talk about Demons Souls, what made it so good, why it's so impactful on games today, and go over why I like about it so much. So without any further ado, leave a like on the video if you do enjoy. Be sure to leave your thoughts on Demons Souls and the Souls genre in general down below in the comments, and subscribe for more Resident Evil, horror and Souls-like content on the channel. We upload every day and stream every weekend, so there's always something going on. But without any further ado, let's get into Demons Souls. So first things first, obviously the key thing to talk about is the difficulty. Now the difficulty in Demons Souls, if you are already familiar with the Dark Souls games or games like it, and you are coming into Demons Souls maybe from already playing Dark Souls, or even playing Bloodborne, whatever it may be, you won't find the game as difficult as those. I personally don't think Demons Souls is particularly difficult in terms of comparing it to others. Yes, it's a hard game, and people who aren't familiar with the series will kind of find it difficult, understandably so, it's meant to be hard. But on a difficulty scale in terms of the genre in general, I would say it's probably on the lower end. It's not too bad. All the bosses kind of have, not all of them actually, but a lot of them do have a gimmick on how to beat them. For example, the footage in the background is my first ever run at the Tower Knight when I first played the remake. And it took me a while, so that's why I'm using the footage. But I did figure out eventually that what you had to do was, slash it in the back of the legs, and then it falls over, and then you just hit it in the head, and it does loads of damage. Rinse repeat until it's dead. Other examples of kind of these gimmick bosses in these games is the Adjudicator, which I believe is how you say it. It's the big fat guy with the spear in his belly, and all you do is either you have a bow or magic and just hit the bird on its head from above, and it dies, or you go and stab at its belly wound until it falls over, and then you can hit the bird with your sword, and it does, again, a lot of damage. Also, there's not bosses that have gimmicks, but there is more bosses that have a certain way that makes it 10 times easier. For example, you have the Phalanx, I think it's called, at the beginning of the game, the first boss you actually fight in the main part of the game. It's just a blob, it doesn't really do anything. It has like these little minions that kind of cover it and heal it. But all you need to do to beat this really easily is just put a pine resin on your sword and set it on fire, and it's dead in a matter of seconds. Not every boss is like this. There is some out there that are pretty good. Examples of the good bosses in this game are probably King Gallant in his kind of actual form rather than his slug form at the end. The Penetrator Knight, also very, very, very cool boss, very cool fight. And then obviously the Flame Monger, which again, you can kind of make it trivial with magic. But bosses like that, where you can just fight them in any way you want, rather than there being a gimmick, I do like to kind of not use the cheese method, unless it's the Phalanx, because it's kind of, it doesn't really do anything, because I kind of want it dead as soon as possible. But with the Flame Monger and the Penetrator and King Gallant, I think his name is, you can kind of fight them as you would in the Dark Souls game. And it feels nice. There's a quite good variation of bosses in this game. Not a massive amount like the Dark Souls games you see now, like Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3. There's a lot of bosses in those games. And there's only like 3 or 4 for an area in this, which is still a lot, because there's like 5 areas, I think. So it's still a fair amount of bosses. But again, a good amount of them do have a gimmick or a cheesy way of beating them, so difficulty on the bosses isn't particularly hard all the time. So yeah, overall difficulty, I would say, if you haven't played a Souls game before and you're watching this video, I would say Demons Souls is a reasonably fair entry to start on, because it's not difficult. There are areas that are harder than others. More importantly, the valley in the poison area is just the worst, and it's not a fun time. I've played this game through many times now, and that area just, I hate it so much every time I go there. But the difficulty across each area is fair. It isn't too difficult. Obviously you can kind of make mistakes and die in stupid ways. I still do to this day, and I've played quite a lot of these type of games now. But I would say the difficulty is fairly fair in terms of, you know, an entry point to the Souls-like games. So if you haven't ever played one before, Demons Souls is a good place to start, and I would always recommend it to anyone who hasn't played it before or who wants to start playing the Souls games. Of course, though, that is my opinion. I just don't think Demons Souls is particularly difficult compared to other games. Again, I'm not saying which one I think is the hardest. I've been doing this in the few videos I've made about the Souls-like games already. If anyone can guess which Souls-like game I find the hardest, I will do something for them or give them something if they get it right. First person to get it right, obviously, will get that. But I'm not going to say what it is until someone gets it right. And when the video releases, which will be a week-ish from today. So you have a week to guess which it is, and I'll leave it all to you. But anyway, back to Demons Souls. So the difficulty, again, quite fair, not too difficult, can be difficult at times, but not a massive kind of difficulty gap to get used to. The combat feels very nice. Again, with these games, what I love so much about them is the replayability you can get purely based off building different stats, building different weapons, using different weapons. You know, there's plenty of options. There's swords, there's two-handed swords, there's magic, there's daggers, there's dual-wield daggers, obviously stuff like that. Again, you can be a complete healer class that heals yourself constantly and has a massive magic bar. You can be like a pyromancer, which uses all fire spells and stuff like that, which is super cool. You can be an agile character which has light armor, loads of stamina, and able to roll around really quickly. You can be a heavy guy that carries massive armor and massive weapons, massive health pool, and on it a bit lacking in mobility, but still quite a tank, which is pretty cool. You can do a lot of things in these games, and this is definitely one you can do that in too. It all depends on how you want to play. At the minute, I have a character which is my first character on this game, which is this one, which is the Knight default guy. Tried to be as basic as possible. I have a fully magic built character, which honestly makes the game 10 times easier. Anyway, magic in this game is quite strong, so if you do want to play the game as a mage, you're going to have a lot of an easy time getting through it. And then right now I'm building like a kind of a priesty one, which focuses on being able to heal and stuff like that. And then again, I think after this, I might make like an assassin-y type guy who's fast and using like dual wield or something like that. I don't know. There's a lot of things I want to do with the games all the time. A lot of my characters are from the original Demons Souls before the remake. I had a lot of characters in that game that I played through. But, you know, I have plenty of ideas for runs I want to do in this game as well. So there's plenty of options to replay the game, do it a different way. And obviously New Game Plus as well, which does make things a little bit more difficult. So if you want the challenge, New Game Plus is there to up the ante just slightly to make things a little bit more deadly. Replayability also comes into mind with customization. Again, different armors have different stats. They make you slower, they make you faster. Same with weapons. Weapons all play differently from each other. There are special weapons in the game you can get, such as the Moonlight Greatsword, which I believe is actually made an appearance in every Souls game I can think of, except Sekiro, because you are set to one weapon in that game. But a lot of variation, and yeah, again, it all depends on how you want to play the game. You can play it any way you want. One thing I want to mention in this video that I didn't mention in the Bloodborne video because I completely went over it, and I didn't mention in the Mortal Shell video because it's not a thing in that game, is the PvP and the co-op. If you want to play with a friend, you have an option to do that. It lets you join up with people in a certain area of the game to help you fight bosses and stuff like that. There's PvP. PvP is a big thing in Dark Souls, Bloodborne, and it is present in this game as well. I do kind of dip my toe into PvP in these games occasionally. I'm not the best. I do kind of want to make content about the PvP or doing the PvP, but that's a work in progress. I'm still not the best at it yet. I've had a pretty cool few moments in PvP in this game, especially when I've been invaded out of nowhere or I've invaded someone else, and it's been a laugh. But the PvP is quite fun. If you enjoy PvP, I'm sure you'll enjoy it in this game as well, and I'm sure if you play Dark Souls and Bloodborne and you like the PvP in that, you'll love it in this too. It's essentially the same thing. But yeah, brief mention of PvP and co-op. It's present in the game, it's a lot of fun, and it does, again, add a lot more replayability to these games. But that about wraps it up for Demons Souls. I always call it Demons Souls, never Demons Souls. I can't say that properly. I have a quite bad lisp at times, I don't know if you can tell. But saying Demons Souls really quick just throws me off completely. But yeah, it's been my little kind of discussion about the game. I really enjoy it. Obviously, it was a PS5 launch title. if you had an opportunity to get a PS5 and have the game, do leave your thoughts about the remake down below. If you played the original, again, same game essentially, so do let me know what you think of the Demons Souls game in general. Again, if you do want an entry point into the Souls-like series, this is a great place to start. It's not too easy, but it's not overly hard either, so it's quite a fair game, like I've said. It just takes practice, and, you know, with these games, I always say to people who haven't played them before, you know, don't get disheartened that a boss is kicking your ass, because eventually you'll figure it out, you'll get better, and, you know, I've kind of gone off that mindset ever since I started playing these games, like, hardcore, because I used to play them every now and again and just stop after a point because I just never do it. But now I've completed all of them like many times, and this is years later. This has gone from me playing these games as a teenager to playing them now in my early 20s. So, you know, big gap. But I definitely enjoy them now a lot more than I did when I didn't have a clue what I was doing. So that's all it comes down to, just figuring out how you need to do and just bearing with it. But nevertheless, hope you all enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like if you did. And again, comment your thoughts on Demons Souls down below. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe for more content over Souls, horror and Resident Evil. And I'll see you all tomorrow for a brand new video.